Good evening, all of you. Welcome again to this hands-on practice with MS SQL course. Today we are learning the insert into command in SQL. So what is insert into? The insert into statement is used to add new records in the rows into the existing table that we have created in the database. So earlier we have created the database and table. We have seen how we can create the table inside the database, but the data or the information in the table was not available. So today we see how we can insert the data or the information in this table. So what is the syntax for this insert into uh, statement? So syntax is that insert into the table name in bracket column names, values and the value names or the values and the semicolon completed. So we can insert single row of data or multiple row of data in this table. So for an example, we have already created an employees table. We have to add one employee information in that table. So how we can do that? So insert into example, insert into employees in bracket the column names, that is the employee ID, employee name, department, salary, and join date. Values values should be inserted with respect to the sequence of the column that we have mentioned. So 101 employee ID, Anuj Shinde is the employee name, CSC is department, salary is 50,000, and join date is the 14th July 2026. So this is the one row inserted. We can add multiple rows as well. So we'll check how we can do the multiple row into the table. So one must note that make sure the number of values matches the number of column and data types are correct. Means whatever the column names we have mentioned in the employees table, that is employee ID, employee name, the number of columns and the number of values that we are inserting or mentioning should match to each other. Also, the data type of that column means if it is a number, then the value should mention also be a number. If it is a character or varchar, that is text information, it should match the text information. If it is a salary numerical join date format, it should also match with the uh, date mentioned in the values column. So you'll see how you can insert the multiple record as well. So for multiple records, we can add the multiple records in that table also. On the right hand side, we can see that insert into table name, column names, values, and the respective values with respect to the columns mentioned. So for example, we have to add three more data into that table. We can use the insert into employees, employee ID, employee name, department, salary, and we can mention the values. That is 102 Rohit Patil Mechanical 52,000. 103 Sneha More CSE 48,000. 104 Pooja Jadhav IT 60,000. Remember all the syntax or the structure of the query that we are written. One must remember that while mentioning any number, we don't need uh, inverted commas. While we are mentioning the text expression, we need the inverted comma. And query must be completed with a semicolon. And after each row of value, it should be separated by comma. That is given here. So each value of a row is separated by comma, and at the end of this rows of values, it should be completed with the semicolon. So if you can execute this query, we can get this table, and you can view this table. We will get this information as well. So one must note that make sure number of values matches the number of columns specified in the column list as we have discussed earlier. So we'll see how we can do this in an MS SQL. So already we have created the table, insert into employees table, emp ID, emp name, department, salary, joined it. And the values. So employee ID is 101, employee name Anuj Shinde, department say CSE, salary 50,000, join date it is 2026. This is a single value record. Can run this query, can run this query. You can see one row affected, which data is inserted successfully. To view this record, we can use this select from command from employee. We'll see this data, information of data in this table. Earlier, the table was empty. Now we have included this data for the employee Anush Shinde with employee ID 101 CS department and the salary and join date. Now we can add the multiple entries also. How we can do that? So to insert multiple values, we can do this insert into employees. Now, if you want to select all the tables, it is not necessary to mention the all the columns. So you can mention only table and the values. Earlier we added the one data per row. Now we can add three, four more data. What was the data? Other data. Rohit Patil mechanical 50,000. Mechanical comment. There is 52,000. Join date is the 6. And the break record. There is no need to mention values again. 103. Name Sneha Mori, CSE. From CSE. Salary is 8,000. When you say you in July. Okay. I will add one more record. 104. Name is the Puja Jadhav. She's IT. Salary is 60,000. Date of joining is say 2026. See, yes, 10. Now, once we have completed this query, we must mention the semicolon at the end of this query. We will run this complete query. Three rows affected means three data rows have been added successfully. We have to see all this information. We will run this query again to see the data inserted into the employees. We can see that three more records has been added to this employees table. That is 102 employee ID, Rohit Patil, Sneha Mori with employee ID 103 from sales department, salary and date of joining, and the Pooja Jadhav. So This is how we can enter the single row of data or multiple records in the table that we have created in the database. So in next session, we can see uh, uh, different topics in the SQL, altering table, modifying the data in the table. Thank you. Thank you very much.